Why would they want to kill me?
Because you're mad! Don't you see that? What you're doing to Rome?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at oppressive leaders who were hated in their time and are still remembered for their tyranny.
Louis XVI asks, "Is it a revolt?" "No, sire," he replies. "It is a revolution."
Ranavalona I. The Mad Monarch of Madagascar essentially summarizes how Ranavalona I is remembered. Her reign was one of the most brutal in Madagascar history. While she claims to be protecting her people from European colonial powers, her methods were terrifyingly oppressing to them. To resist foreign influence, she banned Christianity and executed or enslaved anyone suspected of collaborating with foreigners. Using mass executions, forced labor, and a deadly poison test to prove innocence, she maintained loyalty. Her harsh policies caused a massive drop in Madagascar's population during her reign. While some modern Malagasy people view her as a radical traditionalist, many see her as a tyrant whose paranoia and cruelty cost many innocent lives. Herod Antipas.
A man destined to play a pivotal role in the death of Jesus, would have been well known to every Jew in Galilee. Herod Antipas.
This Jewish ruler may not be as monstrous as Ranavalona I, but he wasn't exactly loved either. Herod Antipas ruled Galilee and Perea during the time of Jesus, and his reign was marked by political scheming, moral scandal, and religious insensitivity. He's best remembered for ordering the execution of John the Baptist, who condemned his marriage to Herodias, his half-brother's wife. That union, seen as unlawful, along with his cozy alliance with the Romans, made him deeply unpopular with Jewish people. He's often viewed as a weak leader more interested in power and pleasure than justice, not as a full-blown tyrant. Today, Christians remember him as the ruler who mocked Jesus before the crucifixion. Antipas died in exile in Gaul with Herodias.
He's attracting great crowds from all over Judea and Galilee, promising a better world to come.
Good for him. We can use a better world, preferably one without Romans.
Lucius Aurelius Commodus.
The history of Rome's emperors shows that it's pretty dangerous to cross the Senate. But Commodus had a plan, and it really was to ignore the Senate and to appeal directly to the people.
Though unfit for the throne, Commodus inherited the Roman Empire after his father Marcus Aurelius died. Instead of continuing his father's legacy, he abandoned state affairs to corrupt aides, later executing them out of paranoia. He blew Rome's wealth on harems and absurd spectacles where he personally fought as a gladiator, something the Romans found disgraceful for an emperor. He executed allies and foes, even family members. When Rome burned, he saw it as an opportunity to rename it the Colony of Commodus, and fancied himself a reincarnation of Hercules. Commodus's chaotic reign turned the Senate against him. Eventually, he was assassinated by his inner circle and his statues destroyed. Today, historians remember him as a delusional ruler whose madness marked Rome's decline. Ivan the Terrible. When Ivan, the first Tsar of Russia, got the title Terrible, it may have actually meant awe-inspiring, but Ivan also lived up to the darker meaning of the word. He wasn't always evil. At first, he was a progressive leader who expanded Russia's territory and reformed its laws, but power twisted him. Consumed by paranoia, he created a secret police, the Oprichniki, to hunt down supposed traitors.
Ivan selected the most aggressive 300 and installed them in his palace at Alexandrov.
In one of his darkest moments, he massacred thousands in Novgorod and is believed to have even murdered his own son. Peasants weren't left out. They starved and froze to death, fueling more hate. Hundreds of years later, Ivan is still remembered for his cruelty, which plunged Russia into misery and fear.
Седлай коней, в Москву скакать! Ради русского царства великого.
Nicholas II.
Think of the soldiers. Think of the war. Think of the weather. Think of anything, but not baby.
I can't.
Do it.
During his reign, Tsar Nicholas II was often viewed as a weak and indecisive leader. Early in his reign, his public image suffered when he attended a lavish party after thousands died during the Kadinka festival. As time went on, Russia's economic hardship deepened, and Nicholas's failures in World War I only made things worse.
On what became known as Bloody Sunday, the 9th of January 1905, a march of loyal but disgruntled workers set out for the Winter Palace to hand a petition to the Tsar. Such a demonstration was unprecedented in the Russia of the Romanovs.
Surrounded by poor advisors and distrusted allies, Nicholas appeared powerless. His wife's German heritage and his trust in Rasputin, a scandalous mystic, further fueled public outrage and ridicule. Whatever sympathy he had left vanished on Bloody Sunday when troops fired on peaceful protesters. To the people, he was no longer Tsar, but their ruin. Forced to abdicate, Nicholas and his family were executed by the Bolsheviks.
If only you had acted sooner, sir.
You think this could have been avoided?
Louis XVI.
May God crown you with a crown of glory.
The king whose fall ended centuries of absolute French monarchy. That's Louis XVI. Often viewed as an indecisive and shy leader, he took on a massive debt from his grandfather. Then he made things worse by funding the American Revolution, draining France's treasury while his people starved.
Sparse food supplies are hoarded. And the cost of a loaf of bread soon equals a month's earnings. Hunger turns to rage.
His Austrian-born wife, Marie Antoinette, made him even more despised for her perceived extravagance. During the French Revolution, when Louis tried to flee to Varennes and was caught, he became a traitor in the eyes of his people. Found guilty of treason, he was executed by guillotine in 1793.
The peasants feel you have no regard for them.
What? I have no regard for the peasants. They are my people. I am their sovereign.
Ironically, one of his fiercest critics, Maximilien Robespierre, would later meet similar fate. Nero.
I don't need protection from the gods! The gods need protection from me! Hear me? The gods need protection from me!
Among Rome's infamous rulers, Nero stands tall. His reign wasn't entirely dark at first. He began with promise, supporting the arts, lowering taxes, and even promoting public entertainment. But power corrupted him quickly. One of his most heinous acts was murdering his mother for opposing his affair with Poppaea Sabina.
They didn't make me a god. But I am one, you know. I am a god. I must be. Must be.
Some accounts even claim he later killed Poppaea herself. When the Great Fire of Rome erupted in 64 AD, many believed Nero started it to clear space for his grand golden palace. To shift the blame, he brutally persecuted Christians, making them scapegoats. Legends even say he played music while Rome burned. Abandoned by his own guards and declared a public enemy, Nero eventually took his life with the help of his secretary.
It's so lonely at the top of Olympus. More women! More wine! More!
Idi Amin of
All of you are in very high-ranking governmental positions. Your duty is not to be very weak. You must not be like a woman who is just weak.
You don't earn the title Butcher of Uganda for nothing. Idi Amin's rule was one of the most brutal in African history. Once just a cook, he rose through the military ranks to become commander before overthrowing President Milton Obote in a military coup. Once in power, Amin ruled with an iron fist, using violence, intimidation, and purges to maintain control.
I dream I will be the head of state and the most highest head of state in the world when I was just none. And it became truth.
The court and press were silenced and parliaments dissolved. It's estimated that hundreds of thousands were killed, including soldiers, intellectuals, and ethnic groups he saw as threats. Beyond the violence, he also wrecked Uganda's economy. Though many Ugandans despised and feared him, Amin escaped justice, living in exile in Saudi Arabia until his death in 2003.
Uganda loves me because I am a loyal and I am fair.
Pol Pot.
Saloth Sar became Pol Pot, and in 1963 he was elected leader of the party. He had a vision of Cambodia which was shared by the others, to restore its lost grandeur, symbolized by Angkor Wat.
What's there to love about a leader whose reign saw millions die? The hatred of Cambodians towards Pol Pot even now is completely understandable. He was both incompetent and malevolent, and under his rule, Cambodia became a nightmare. His vision of building a classless agrarian society meant many were sent into forced labor, starved, and executed. He dismantled cities, banned religion, and abolished money and education. Families were torn apart, and many lost their lives in what became known as the Khmer Rouge genocide. Honestly, there's no redeeming side to Pol Pot's legacy. His regime left deep scars that haunt Cambodia, and generations are still coping with the loss.
But nó Pol Pot nang prap tha kôn ơi, cái là bọp bị muốn ăn men lôi chai ăn men như thế na, cứ lôi gọt chai bài gọt ban cục còn mà nói côn ai không phẳng ấy, bài bón lớn đi.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Joseph Stalin.
I pray for your end and ask the Lord to forgive you. Tyrant.
Pol Pot and Joseph Stalin are cut from the same terrifying cloth. Both ruled through fear and sacrificed their people for their own warped ideologies. Stalin's forced collectivization of farming triggered a famine that killed millions, especially in Ukraine's Holodomor. Then came the Great Purge, where paranoia turned lethal. He executed rivals, silenced critics, and sent many to the Gulag, a forced labor camp where many died of starvation, exhaustion, and cold.
Stalin appealed to Russian patriotism, to the spirit of Alexander Nevsky, to the great victories of the Tsarist era.
Though Stalin led the Soviet Union to victory against Hitler, that alone doesn't make him a hero. After his death in 1953, Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev denounced him in 1956 and condemned his cult of personality. Yet decades later, Stalin's image remains complicated, with many Russians divided over his legacy.
Ultimately, Stalin, for all his Bolshevik ideology, was a pragmatist with a keen eye for survival. Although he was an outsider, his command over the Russian people gained him an empire, bought with their blood, that surpassed anything won by the Tsars.
Who is the cruelest among these hated leaders? Let us know in the comments section.